Welcome, Unity. All the members and everybody tuning in this morning. It's exciting. I'm so excited. We are free today. In fact, free and easy.
Free and easy.
Yeah, free and easy. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since I've ever had a real easy Sunday morning. I'll be honest with you.
We try to make it easy for you.
We make it easy for you, and we try to make it look easy. And thus, I'm going to do this song. Easy like Sunday morning. You make it look so easy, Susie. I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Him leaving you tomorrow. Seems, Lord, to me, you know I've done all I can. Now I beg, stole, and I borrow. That's why I'm easy. Yeah, you got your parts to sing at home. Sunday morning. Come on, join in, will you? I hear you now. That's why I'm easy, yeah. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Why in the world would anybody put chains on me? See, I paid my dues to make it. Everybody wants it to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. Yeah, that's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Oh yeah, that's why I'm easy. Like Sunday morning. Well, yeah, I wanna be free, so free. I wanna be free to know the things I do alright. I wanna be free, oh, just be, yeah. Oh yeah, that's why I'm easy. Yeah, I'm easy like Sunday morning. Ooh, oh, that's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why I'm easy. Yeah. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Oh, Sunday morning. Oh, easy like Sunday morning. All right. Now not so easy.
Wonderful.
Easy for you to say.
Thank you, Rob Satori.
Thank you.
Channeling a little bit of Lionel Richie. And we discovered that Willie Nelson was a co-author of that, or
Yes, Willie
co-composer of
Nelson
that song.
co-wrote it with him, apparently.
Interesting.
That's what I read. I could be wrong, so I'm not 99% sure of that.
That's
Whatever.
interesting. Fun facts that you find out when you get up on
Come on,
Sunday
help
morning.
me make it look easy, right?
All right.
I love it.
Excellent. Well, good morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Susie Shadle. I welcome you to Unity of Sarasota, where something good is always happening. And right now, it is happening wherever you may be at this very moment, because you are there. David, I'm going to ask you to take this mic down just a little. It's reverberating a little more than we would like. Thank you. Again, I welcome you to this live broadcast. We're broadcasting live on Facebook as well as on our website. It'll be recorded in both of those locations as well, so that you can check it out again later. Or in some cases, you don't even have to get up this early. That's an easy Sunday morning. You don't even have to get up on time. You could just check it out later, you know?
I can't even remember what that's
How
like.
cool is that? Yeah. How cool is that? Sleeping in on a Sunday morning. Yeah, we're gonna have to try that sometime.
But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd want to be here.
Anyway, we do welcome you to journey with us on your spiritual journey, and we can make that journey together. And together we achieve a whole lot more. So I invite you to be part of our community. Unity of Sarasota is a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. We are an inclusive spiritual community that embraces empowering and life-affirming practical spirituality for richer living right here and right now. And we join with our unity movement worldwide in creating a world that works for all. And I just want to point out, and I want to thank Clint Day, who sent us the world. You'll see it right down here. He sent us the world, and Clint, if you're listening, just want to tell you, you mean the world to us. And so we are indeed creating a world that works for all, and that little globe will remind us that that's what we're about. Please do us a favor and let your friends and loved ones on social media know about Unity of Sarasota. So click and love and like and share and do all the kinds of clicks that you can do to invite all those folks to join us online for our Sunday celebration service, and also for our Wednesday evening music and inspiration at 7 p.m. each Wednesday evening. I want you to know also that we have lots of other opportunities online to get connected, stay connected, get engaged. You're even able to interact with other participants. All of our other offerings, small groups, exercise, classes, all kinds of things are available, and they are interactive so that you get to participate with the other participants. So check those out. Best place to do it is go to our website, unityofsarasota.org, and there you will find all those offerings. You'll also find a place that you can subscribe to our newsletter. The newsletter keeps you most up to date on what's happening and how to get involved. And that newsletter comes out in 2 editions, one informational and another inspirational. So sign up for the newsletter and stay informed and stay inspired. Also, I want to make this announcement again. I made it last Sunday, but for those of you who might not have tuned in or been away or whatever, I want to, and plus I'm excited about it, so I'm going to say it again. We determined through actual scientific testing that our sanctuary, our 35-year-old sanctuary, is not healthy for us to be in. And so it made it necessary for us to renovate before we are able to come back and gather in person again once it's safe to do so. And so the board and your spiritual leadership were unanimous in wanting to move forward with that in order to make it safe for us to come back. And so we did a lot of work gathering lots of information, and we were able to negotiate some phenomenal pricing, about $10,000 less than when I went through this exercise a couple years ago. So we were able to negotiate better work and more of it for less money. And we'll be able to do the work without disrupting people. because we'll do it before you all get back. And so when you come back to Unity of Sarasota, or if you come to Unity of Sarasota for the first time, not only will it be absolutely gorgeous, but it will be absolutely clean, brand new, and safe. And the reason being, because the membership, in our membership meeting, we had a Zoom membership meeting, the membership in attendance voted unanimously to move forward with this renovation. So I'm very excited. We've already uninstalled the pews. They will be removed hopefully this week and taken away. And then we will begin the hazmat removal of the carpeting and then treat the entire room for bacteria and other biologicals. And then it'll be nice and clean and safe. And then we begin to do the electrical and lighting work, the paint, new carpeting, and a few nice new fancy things on the stage that make it much more wonderful than it already is. So we all have something to look forward to, and I'm very excited, and I thank you all who helped to make this possible. So great excitement. And then one other thing that I would like to say is that we have lots of ways while we are away from each other physically that we can continue to support our spiritual community, Unity of Sarasota. Lots of ways to support, including our time, our talent, and our treasure. Please be spending your time in communion with Father, Mother, God, Spirit while we are away from one another. It's very, very important that we stay tuned in to our spiritual practice and our connection with God, each of us and all of us. And that's your time, your talent. There's still opportunities to use your talent in support of Unity of Sarasota as well. We have an abundance of leaves that are dying to be raked, and it's a great way to get a little bit of exercise, get out on this beautiful campus in the outdoors, and to, and again, work off a few of the snacking pounds that many of us have gained at this time. And so, and you can do it at a safe distance from anyone else, and we would love to have your support with your talents. And finally, treasure. It is important that we continue to financially support our spiritual community so that we can continue to support our Unity of Sarasota community as well as the greater community of Sarasota. And so with that in mind, I am giving my tithe, and I give great thanks to each of you who are mailing in your financial support. Many of you are going online and making financial support. And we appreciate all of that because we know and we are affirming that we live in an abundant universe with a generous God, and that all of that goodness in the form of financial prosperity comes to us, through us, and back out to do greater work still. We know this is the case, and we know that you take whatever gift you're giving, whether it's a blessing, a prayer, or financial sustenance, that you bring it to your heart and you fill it with positive energy of love, of light, of power, of presence, of everything positive, so that that energy travels with it. And for this, we are eternally grateful. And together we say, thank God within and all around me. Amen. So let's take this opportunity to turn within and to become centered at the very essence of our being, in that place of our highest authenticity, that place at the center where our humanity and our divinity intersect, and know that there's only one. And so the perfect way to help us get centered within is to take a nice deep breath together. Hold that space. And then exhale fully and continue in that divine cycle of breath, breathing in deeply, exhaling fully. As we breathe in, we take in the inspiration and the experience of Spirit. And as we breathe out the expression of Spirit as us uniquely and individually. And as we express ourselves uniquely and diversely, we remain one in the unity of all life, for there is only one expressing itself as many, and yet always one, interconnected. There is no separation, no distance, no apartness. There is only one. And it envelops each and all. And for this realization of the truth of who we are, I am grateful, and most of all, grateful for our willingness to live in and through and as that truth in all that we think, say, and do. And so it is, and together we say, thank God within and all around me. Amen. And so our daily word today is pray for others. The affirmation, I affirm truth for everyone I hold in prayer. I am honored by the trust people place in me when they ask for prayer support. As I pray for others, I see each one for whom I pray as divine and know the truth that each one is a living expression of God. My purpose in prayer is not to focus on the particulars of a situation, but to hold a higher view. As I center in prayer, I hold the vision that all challenging circumstances are moving toward a satisfying resolution in one way or another. I release all thoughts about the situation that prompted the prayer need and focus on the activity of God. As I pray, I see the life, the love, the wisdom, and the power of God at work, healing, strengthening, and establishing peace in all those for whom I pray. And our scripture comes from Philippians 1, 3 through 4. I thank my God every time I remember, constantly praying with joy in every one of my prayers for all of you. And our statement of being today, if you know it by heart, please say it with me wherever you are. Otherwise, just listen and take it in and let it be absorbed in you. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are individualized expressions of God.
Here's a song by Cindy Morgan called I Will Be Free. our shepherd to lead us to our journey's end. Though many battles I have lost, so many rivers yet to cross, but when I close my eyes, I see the one who bears my loss, who pays the cost. I will be free. I will be free to run the mountains. I will be free. Free to drink from the living fountains. Oh, I'll never turn back, 'cause you are waiting for me. I will be free. Oh, and I'll dance on silver moonlight and walk through velvet fields. Oh, and I'll run to the arms of the one who sets me free. Oh, I will be free to run the mountains. I will be free, free to drink from the living fountains. Oh, I'll never turn back, 'cause you are waiting for me. No, I'll never turn back, 'cause you are waiting, waiting for me. Yeah. I'll never turn back, 'cause someday you're gonna see that we are free.
Thank you, Rob. Beautiful song. So my theme today is free to be, free to be. I want to share our core value affirmation with you. We embody Christ consciousness and live from the awareness that God is within and all around us. So let's say that again. We embody Christ consciousness and live from the awareness that God is within and all around us. And so today we wrap up our July theme of celebrating the birth of our nation, but most importantly, the ideals of freedom and unity upon which it was founded. And we also celebrate the teachings and principles of our unity teaching, which is in such alignment with the principles upon which this country was founded. So we are, in many ways, a very American spirituality. America was that great human experiment. It was set out as an experiment, and it continues to be the great human experiment, the vision of freedom and unity beyond anything that had been experienced in any country ever before. That great philosopher, unknown, said, "Freedom is the pressure of the world's light against the prison door of our own darkness." Freedom is the pressure of the world's light against the prison door of our own darkness. Our founding fathers pushed through that door, and they envisioned a united nation grounded in faith and built on equality and freedom and justice for all. In declaring independence, our forefathers and we begin to realize that interdependence is a higher calling and a higher truth. Interdependence. And our forefathers, like us, practiced those ideals and values and principles imperfectly. And so we keep practicing. And it's really up to us now to evolve and to practice more perfectly those ideals and values and principles, to make progress, if not perfection. Who out there would like this $20 bill? Raise your hand if you'd like to have this $20 bill. I am imagining lots of people, wherever you may be, are raising your hand right now. Okay. Okay. Who out there wants this $20 bill? Raise your hand if you still want the $20 bill now that I've crumpled it. I'm imagining most of you are raising your hand still. Okay, how about this? Who out there still wants this $20 bill now that I've crumpled it and smushed it into this nasty carpet? And again, I'm envisioning that most of you still have your hand up. And if you were actually here physically, I would make sure that one of you got this $20 bill. But since I can't do that, what I will do is make sure that we all get this $20 bill. There we go. And we've learned a valuable lesson here together with that $20 bill. Most of us wanted the $20 bill no matter that I took it and crumpled it up and then I threw it on the ground and ground it into the nasty carpet. We still wanted the $20 bill because no matter what I did to it, it didn't decrease its value. It's still worth $20. Of course, we don't know what that means anymore, but it's still worth $20. We can get $20 worth of stuff with that. And you know, that $20 bill is kind of like us, because sometimes we get dropped and crumpled and ground down. I mean, right now, with COVID, whether we have the virus or not, we're all getting a little weary, crumpled, ground down. But no matter what happens in our circumstances, we don't lose our spiritual essence and our value. We are still the spirit, the essence of who we've always been. Because our worth is not measured in what we do. It is not measured in who we know. Our value and our worth is all about who we are. And that essence of who we are has been there always and will remain always. We're all one, and yet each of us is unique and special in our own way. And the real value of that specialness and uniqueness that we are is in our freedom to express it. Oriah Mountain Dreamer, some of you may have read some of her work. Just a quick little aside story. I had not heard of Oriah Mountain Dreamer, and I was at a spiritual conference. It was for Centers for Spiritual Living. I was at the conference, and one of the keynote presenters was Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And this was when I was first, a minister, so when I went to conferences, I went to everything. I didn't skip out and whatever. So I was very obedient and went to all the things that I could go to. And so I had done that all week. I'd been to every possible thing I could go to. And it's toward the end of the week, I'm exhausted, and I'm like, Oriah Mountain Dreamer, seriously, really? What woo-woo kind of a name is that, And I'm like, surely I can miss this. And so I started to head out of the ballroom, and I had my hand on the door ready to push it open, and Oriah Mountain Dreamer came out onto the stage, and she said, hello. That's all she said to begin with. And I was riveted in place, and I stepped aside from the door and stood in the back for her entire presentation. Just the timbre of her voice and the presence that I could feel in her energy had me riveted the entire time. So another little lesson, do not judge by a cover or a woo-woo name. So Araya Mountain Dreamer poses some powerful questions for us to ponder. What if the question is not, why am I so infrequently the person I really want to be? But why do I so infrequently want to be the person I really am? What if the essence of who you are and always have been is enough? Enough. So we have to ask ourselves, what false stories are we believing about ourselves that keep us in that prison of our own darkness? Fear that we're not enough. We're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not rich enough, we're not good looking enough, we're not enough. I have my own false story about not enoughness. As many of you know, I was adopted. And any of you who are adopted know that it has an impact. Being adopted has an impact. There's a lot of research on it. And so I created a false story that I've lived with all my life, and that being that I must have somehow been fundamentally flawed at birth, and that's why I was the one that was given away. And as I grew older, I worked real hard to do as many things as I could, as perfectly as I could, so that I wouldn't be sent away again. And that still plagues me to this day. I'm better, but when I'm, what's the old 12-step adage, if I'm hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, that can come back in. That story will turn itself back on and say, in some way you're not enough, in some way you're fundamentally flawed, even in the face of lots of evidence to the contrary. And so we must ourselves let go of those false stories of not enoughness, and we can support each other in releasing those false stories of not enoughness, because we were birthed in perfection. God didn't make no junk. But if we believe those false stories of not enoughness, we might find ourselves on the treadmill of an inner makeover. Lots of us do outer makeovers a good deal of the time. But sometimes we try to do the inner makeover. We try to change the essence of who we are. And I guarantee you, if you attempt to change the essence of who you are, you will fail. But if you choose to become the essence of who you are, to become the living expression of the essence that you are, you will succeed in everything in life. You already have, simply by being free to be. Past regrets, present pressures, future worries, those all keep us imprisoned in our own darkness. Our essential, authentic, spiritual being remains unchanged, despite all the things that go on in the circumstances of our lives. We are free to choose transformation and to express our authentic self. We can change our thinking and thereby change our outer experience and expression. We can transform from who we are not back into who we truly are. Because transformation isn't about becoming somebody you're not. It's about becoming who you truly are and expressing yourself as that. And I said it's about becoming, going back to who you truly are. Let me tell you a little story. When I was in college, I was taking a psychology class, and when I came home for Christmas break, I decided I would practice some of the things I learned in that class, and I decided that I would turn my dog into a cat. I was going to convince my dog that he was a cat. And my father kind of laughed at that, and he was like, that's just crazy. And so all of my interactions with the dog were as though he were a cat. And I can't remember all the things I did, but it was really pretty well orchestrated. And so everything I did, I didn't play fetch with him anymore. I wish I could remember all the things, because he did most of them. After, a week or so time, he started acting kind of like a cat. Now, whether the dog was ever really convinced, I can't be totally sure. But I will say this, when it came time for me to go back to school, my dad said to me, he says, before you go, change him back into a dog. So apparently my dad was convinced that I had changed the dog into a cat. And I guess my dad's belief kind of got me to believe that, wow, maybe I actually did this. But the truth is, when we transform ourselves, we're not transforming into something else, like I tried to do with the dog. What we are doing is we are transforming back to who we truly are. And so my dog transformed back into who he truly was. And we can do it too. But becoming who we truly are requires intimacy with our highest self. Intimacy with self. Into me I see. Intimacy. Into me I see, in the inner silence of spirit within and all around. We can rediscover and experience our inner spiritual essence, the truth of our being, and then we are free to become and express outwardly that true essence of our being. That's why we're here. That's our purpose, to express that inner essence outwardly. And we are all interdependently free to fulfill the legacy of that great American experiment and to fulfill the legacy of our unity principles and teachings. I want to have you listen to a part of a CD track. It's called We Are One Beautiful People, and it's on a CD called Humanity, Chapter 1, Thomas Bergerson. And you'll hear a voice on this behind the music. And it's the voice of President Harry Truman speaking to the NAACP at the Lincoln Memorial. And this is what he says. So you'll hear it first from me, and then you'll hear it with the music. Can you hold, please? This is what he says. I should like to talk to you briefly about civil rights and human freedom. It is my deep conviction that we have reached a turning point in the long history of our country's efforts to guarantee freedom and equality to all our citizens. Our immediate task is to remove the last remnants of the barriers which stand between millions of our citizens and their birthright. There is no justifiable reason for discrimination because of ancestry or religion or race or color.
I should like to talk to you briefly about civil rights and human freedom. It is my deep conviction that we have reached a turning point in the long history of our country's efforts to guarantee freedom and equality to all our citizens. Our immediate task is to remove the last remnants of the barrier which stand between millions of our citizens and their birthright. There is no justifiable reason for discrimination because of ancestry or religion or race or color.
That is the great American experiment. I should like to talk to you briefly about civil rights and human freedom. It is my deep conviction that we have reached a turning point in the long history of our country's efforts to guarantee freedom and equality to all our citizens. Our immediate task is to remove the last remnants of the barriers which stand between millions of our citizens and their birthright. There is no justifiable reason for discrimination because of ancestry or religion or race or color. President Harry Truman. And so now, let's take some time to go within into the sacred silence, to contemplate the American experiment, to contemplate the universe, to contemplate our place in all of it. Into me I see. Meditation is inhaling the experience of the Spirit of God and exhaling the spirit of man as an expression of God. And so take a deep centering breath. Let that breath surround your heart space. Exhale fully in the divine flow and circulation of breath, the breath of spirit breathing you. Inspiration. Find your own perfect rhythm of breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. What if it doesn't matter what you do, but rather who you be? Who you be. Feel that beingness. What if all that matters is the consciousness behind our beingness and doingness? What if all that matters is the consciousness behind our beingness and doingness? Contemplate that. So imagine and feel elevated Christ consciousness within you and all around you. What would you do and how? With elevated Christ consciousness, what would you do and how? In what ways would that consciousness express itself? ask and contemplate, what is the truest, most positive, most powerful statement you can affirm about your authentic self right now? Affirm the expression of your authentic self now and frequently until it becomes second nature. With the power of freedom to be, act. Act. And gently return your attention to this time and space. And slowly open your eyes when you're ready. And so it is. I want to close with a quote from Lao Tzu, who instructed, "Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny." Blessings on your journey of becoming free to be. Begin by discovering and experiencing your true essence, and then express it freely. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around me. Amen.